here with Janine, the amazing, beautiful, gorgeous Janine Jackson. This class is the Make It Happen Marketing Mastermind Hot Seat. We've got 45 minutes together. Janine, she's part of the boot. You've come along to the boot camp. You launched your first campaign. We've got together on one of our mastermind strategy call, and we promised, as a result of last boot camp, we came up with this brilliant idea of doing a hot seat every month, and having you guys share what successes you're creating with your marketing, what success you're creating with your clients, and unpacking that and unpacking what could be the next step that we're taking from here, and have you be able to pay it forward and share what has been some of the amazing learnings out of that. So that's what we're here to do together. Let's start from the beginning, because I know we had a bit of a conversation about some of the strategy and the thinking and the marketing coming into your workshop. So let's start with, we'll start with, how did it go over the weekend? Brag to me, how did it go over the weekend?
I really was happy with how it went. It was great. I had 6 people. Like I was saying, there were 4 in the room and 2 ended up being online, and one of those was in New Zealand. So we were saying, you're officially global. That's awesome. I was really excited, and she was incredible. The way that the room was interacting was amazing, and my lesson from that was actually what we talked about, was really making sure I know who my avatar is and I'm speaking their language. And that meant right from my ad copy to my landing page, my thank you page, and there was a video that I did in there. Everything was around, putting a video of me, because people connect to me, not just the language. That worked. And I think doing all of that meant that the right people rocked up. And then they just connected. So not just with me, they connected with each other.
Wonderful.
We went to a break at one point, and I came back and I can hear the ladies online talking to each other. One in New Zealand and one in Victoria. And
how good is that?
It was amazing. And even the women in the room just saying, let's keep connected. And so starting to build a community. And I know that was based on the language and meeting them where they're at and connecting with them that way. That was knowing my avatar. That was my biggest lesson.
That's such a good step, and it's such important advice at the beginning of it as well. And one of the things that I think is so helpful with the bootcamp, with the actions, and then with how you're applying it now, is that because everybody says know your avatar, right? Like everybody says that, and sometimes it can be frustrating because you're like, well, how the hell do I know them? I think I know them. How do I know that I'm getting it right? Or, but it is, because I remember we went through like the language together, and we were like flipping it from what would be the conversation they're having in their head behind it. And then in applying all of that stuff, it gets clearer.
Absolutely. I think one of the other things, the tweaks that I made through your help and guidance, was around mixing in what their admitted desires, which you were talking about. So they want to get unstuck from their career, they want to get that promotion, or they want to get that next job interview or whatever it is, with their hidden desires. So bringing more meaning and purpose and joy and being valued and being seen and all those things that they personally want but didn't want to stand up in front of a room and tell anyone.
And they would just say that, exactly.
So I blended that language through my landing page and my thank you messages and all those emails that happen using the wireframe. Helped me map that out.
Be able to map out all the steps together.
Knowing my avatar, using the language that speaks to them, and some of the psychology that you shared with me helped me. I think that's what helped the campaign.
That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. And obviously you're applying it so well, and you're understanding their needs and their challenges so well, given the response that you have. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to do.
It was.
It's awesome to see you putting all that structure in place, and then bringing your magic to it, and bringing your language and your avatar and your expertise to it, and really bring that to life.
It was
That's so
amazing.
cool. That's so cool. And so then with the people in the room and having done that, so tell me about your numbers, tell me about some of your lead and lag measures and what you're excited about.
So I loved the journey that we took on that to really help me understand, if I'm going to have one client, I'm going to have 10 leads, and if I'm going to have 10 leads, then 100 people need to hit my landing page, 100 people hit my landing page, 1,000 people need to see my ad. And so I worked on that. And so I set my target. I think we talked about I wanted 15 people to register. And I got 15 people to register. And the numbers before that, to hit my landing page, I had said, well, if 15 people register, I need 150 people to see my landing page. I only got about 90. I got 15 people registering from 90.
Which means you got a better conversion rate going for you, which is phenomenal.
And then from the 15 people, I wanted somewhere between 5 and 7, and 6 people turned up.
Great.
So it was awesome. Got on target.
Yeah.
And then from there, I said I wanted to have maybe one at a minimum, but 3 curious to committed conversations after the session, and I got 4.
Yes.
So we're in the process of working out dates and all of that. But I feel really awesome about that.
Yeah.
And I think actually, maybe not straight away, but I think all 4 of those, I think will probably actually
become clients.
Yeah, they will. It's varying degrees, but we're all super pumped for the inspire. They actually gave me the feedback in the workshop, which I was really happy about too, that they felt really inspired and uplifted, and those were the 2 words that I used as outcomes for my workshops.
Oh, amazing! How good is that?
I know. So they took from that, and I know that even if nothing ever comes from it, I've actually been able to shift their lives a little bit, you know. That's what my business is about, to light people up from within, and they did it in the room and they took it away with them.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Success for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Huge success.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, will you please join me in just celebrating Janine and the amazing work that you're doing and the difference you would have made for those people.
Those women,
Like the difference you would have made for those people, and then you never know the lives that they're going to touch in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome, and the ripples will keep growing. And of the 4 book chats and the clients that could come from that, and their journey ongoing from there. That's
the
so
ripple
good.
effect.
I know, you can just see it like start to ripple out. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I know one of the key things. So part of what Janine's talking about is what we did together is we map out the steps of what your avatar would go through. Do you have a name for your avatar?
Alice.
Alice, wonderful. So the steps that Alice would go through this marketing funnel and through this marketing campaign. And so then how many, what kind of conversions, what kind of benchmark could we expect at each step? And then therefore working backwards, so for you to get, for the goal of having 1 client in the end, how many would you need at the beginning of the funnel? And then that just gives you certainty,
it does.
To know that you're on track with it all. And I think the other wonderful thing is that sometimes it also gives you an anchoring point where you have to celebrate and a baseline of what your benchmark is now. Because it's awesome, like knowing that, understanding what the numbers are and what to expect means that either it's great feedback that you can up your game here in different parts, or it's really, really good feedback that you fucking rocked it, which is the case for you. As opposed to, I know we've had people who, their goals is 15 people register for the workshop, and then when not all 15 people show up, they were disappointed. And then rather than it become evidence of how they're taking action and how they're succeeding and how they're moving forward, it then becomes evidence that, oh my God, maybe people don't want what I have, because 15 people said they were going to come and they didn't, so maybe they don't like me and they don't want my stuff, and and that can go down such a different path when you don't know what benchmarks you could be expecting. Whereas you hit it all the way through, and you've got the 15 people registered, and you've got 50% of the room showing up, and you've got the people in the room wanting to do business with you, which is just like fucking phenomenal. That's so exciting.
It was.
So what's the next step from here? So
well, actually, a really exciting next step, because the number of people messaged me during that campaign period to say, I can't make that date, but this looks awesome, I really want to come along. So that forced me to go, you know what? I'm not going to come back to them in the new year and go, maybe then. I booked a date. So 8th of February, I've got 15 people already wanting to come along to my next workshop.
Amazing! How good is that?
I haven't even advertised it yet, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that is so good. And that is such all the things that we talk about in action, because one of the things that we spoke about is the fact that you're building your marketing assets. So as you with each campaign that you do, with the emails that you write, with the workshop that you put in together, that becomes an asset that will now help you continue growing and adding value to the business. So through running that one campaign, you now got more goodwill and more attention and more people already wanting to be part of the next one.
That's right.
So then filming the next one becomes a bit easier, and you can now improve, and the next one, the next one, the next one keeps building on top of each other. So you now have growing marketing assets that can continue to add value for you. And do you want to share some of the goals? I know you mentioned, because all of that goes towards you building recurring income, building your leverage income, and some of the goals you have for next year.
I do, I have some big goals. They're scary goals for me, actually. It's exciting, scary, exciting, same thing, right?
Same thing, exactly.
8th of February workshop, which is awesome. And I've actually got on my business plan now to actually create leveraged income from the content that I'm producing. So
amazing.
Having a product online that people can buy. My webinar webinar, the all the workbooks and everything that I've developed for these workshops, to be able to then go, yes, I want that, but there's no date coming, but I can just buy it offline.
You can just pull, so
that's I feel really good
I love
about that.
One of the great things that you're such a brilliant example of is, stay committed and keep taking the action and get in it for the long game, and because it's possible, and don't give up on your dream too soon.
No,
stick it out, and because you're such a phenomenal example of what's possible.